Hello and welcome to Paul's Racing Channel, to the Ultimate Racing League, and I welcome you to round 4 of our GT4 Championship from League 4. Now this is the first of our 1 hour endurance races throughout the season, and we're at Belgium at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps on the 24-hour layout. So just a couple of things just to go through in terms of regulations, just to recap really. So as far as tyres compounds are concerned, all drivers must run a hard tyre at some point within the race. So that could be just 1 lap, but it could be 21 laps. They've just got to run a hard at some point, and then whatever other compound they wish to run for the rest. Also, the grid is reverse grid, but it's also based on the championship standings going into this round. So, as I say, 1 hour, 1 full hour race. Now, what I'm planning on doing, and this is my own idea really, is maybe just split this round or these videos into 2 30-minute sectors, so sort of a part 1 and a part 2. I don't know how slick it's going to be, but I just thought it'd be better than people sitting there listening to me going on for an hour, watching a race for an hour. I know it still works out an hour, but at least you can have a break in between the 2:30s, if you know what I mean. That's my thinking anyway. Might be completely sounding like an idiot, but I think I'm going to try a 2-parter anyway on this one. Plus it saves my breath a little bit having to do for a full hour. So let's get on with this now. As I promised, because I mucked it up last time round because I'm an idiot, I'm going to go through the championship standings for the correct league this time, League 4, not League 2. So here we go. So going into this one, we've got Nigel in first. We've got James Stephen in second, Wacky Racer in third, Robbie fourth, Mikey fifth, Aspect sixth, Declan in 7th, the Big Mac in 8th, Max in 9th, and Banksy in 10th. So that's the top 10 going into this one. And, well, I suppose all there's left to say is sit back, relax, enjoy this endurance race. And, yeah, here we go. So it's Tantastic in pole position, Kebab Man second, Angry Man third, Viking Daddy fourth, Banksy fifth, Hopper sixth, Max seventh, Wacky Racer eighth, Big Mac ninth, Mikey 10th, Aspect 11th, Declan in 12th, Robbie 13th, Nigel 14th, and James in 15th. So they come up through Eau Rouge, coming along that back straight now. Now what some people might do is they might start in the hard tyres just to get them out of the way, run 1 lap and then come in and change to maybe a soft or medium, and then they've got the full race then to just go flat out as fast as they can on the tyres for as long as they can. So as Viking Daddy takes up that lead in that all black Ferrari this time, so no livery on it now. Oh, there's a little bit of touchy-feely back there, wasn't there? Someone went off, I think, or just ran a bit wide. Might have been Hoppers, not sure. Might have been just ahead of him. In fact, it probably was a good bad man and Tastic, because I'm just calling Taz, I've said that, didn't I, before? So they both got half a second penalty, so they must have been coming together or something going off track there. They're both holding up the rest of the field at the moment with their half a second penalties, but going through nicely. Taz just pulling away, not sure. Kebab Man just seems to have, I don't know if you missed a gear or two there, as Wacky Racer comes up to 5th from almost the back. So Wacky Racer, what a start he had. Up to 5th spot he goes, following his teammate round in those Corvettes. Kebab Man, in theory, should at some point let him go through, although this is not the place. Oh, there's a little bit of messing about round here. James almost into the back of, who was that, Mikey possibly? James in the all white Mazda. So there's a few cars again that hasn't got the liveries on. Oh, they've gone for the plain Jane look. Oh, that all pink Robbie 1 machine, not sure about that, but anyway, half a second for him as well. Declan 11th, Aspect in 13th, 14th for Max, 15th for Max. We've got a full field as well. Great to see 15 cars out on track, but there's Banksy back at the front who's taking up that lead. Now, how did he take that lead? Because Viking Daddy was in front, wasn't he? Well, he's taken him well before then, hasn't he? No, I missed that, so he's taking it, so apologies then on that. Banksy missed that move, but he's taking it up anyway. That's me going through that field, looking at the other little incidents as they come up through now at the bus stop towards the Buckshot chicane. Bus stop chicane, even for the first time to complete lap 1. Bit of a gap back then to Taz in 3rd spot. He's under pressure from Wacky now. He managed to get through past his teammate Kebabman, who's gone all the way back down to 7th. So what happened to Kebabman then? Was that another coming together from someone? Not sure. I'm going to try and go back and see what happened. He's well back there, isn't he, at that point? I think he just got down along the straight there, didn't he? So never mind. Banksy is though, Viking Daddy 2nd in the lead, Taz 3rd. Wacky Racer 4th, Angry Man 5th. Along with James in 6th as Wacky now has a look at Taz up at turn 1. Does he get it done? Taz keeps it inside. James though is going to have a sniff to see if he can take Wacky 2 for the price of 1. No, didn't get that done. Remains in 5th spot, Angry Man in 6th, so he's doing well just to hang on to the back of them in that McLaren. So there's a few cars out there actually without their liveries. We had this the other week, didn't it? Sometimes they've probably got them on, but for some reason the game wants to put them back to standards. But talking of standards, what kind of driving standards we're going to have here? Oh, not very good at all, was it? Look at this, what happened? That was almost a push from James there. I don't know if it was intentional or not. He's come around the outside and it just kind of, well, I'm not sure what that was. That looked intentional to me, but I'm not, obviously. We'll let the stewards have a look. Let's have another look at this, because I'm not so sure. Don't know, he kind of had a whack there. Oh no, he got his wheel on the, yeah, he just whacked it. So apologies there, it wasn't intentional, but he did get his back wheel on the grass. That made him lose control, went to the side of Wacky, so he loses a couple spots back to 6th. So James in 4th, still attacking Taz in 3rd. Angry Man in 5th. Oh, Wacky's gone off. Now, is that a result of that touch earlier? Up that straight, let's have a look. He went through the S's here, and it just turned left on him. And he's reversed back out, but, well, we had a disastrous couple of laps there. Can't get it straightened up. Stuck there. Parked up. So 13th comes back out in 13th spot, so disaster there, but it just kind of went, didn't he, the steering on, he just went left. And we're nowhere to go. So did he get damage from that touch from James? Steering rack damage or something maybe, who knows. But Banksy, he don't care, nor does Viking Daddy. They're off and running here, 1st and 2nd spot. 4 minutes in. Taz in 3rd still holding off James in 4th. Then we got Angry Man in 5th. Oh, runs it. Don't want to get too far on that green stuff. That's slippery out there. Mikey 6th. Kebabman 7th. Hoppers in 8th. Half a second penalty for him. Declan then in 9th. Niggle 10th. Haven't seen a lot of Niggle, have we really? Can't seem to get himself through with Robbie right behind him. Been flying, hasn't he, Niggle? In fact, leads the championship, as you know. Now that I've given you the correct ones. Oh, and he has to look up Hoppers now. Round his teammate. Yeah, Hoppers just obviously let him fly by there. Oh, and Hoppers decides he wants to, well, go right out wide there. Take some of the run off. But Declan in 8th spot. Oh, and who's that? Kebabman this time. Both Corvettes. Oh no, he's going in the pits. Well, we made a mill of that. I think he must have gone wide at the chicane, because he come right across in front of all the drivers there to get into the pit. So there you go. There's a few coming in now, or at least one is, Kebabman. So I'm surprised that they're running as long as they are on these hards. Maybe the cars, you know, it does depend on the car, I guess. As they come up through Eau Rouge, Banksy and Viking Daddy, James there in 3rd, coming down the hill through Eau Rouge as well. And there's your top 3. That looks a bit skittish, doesn't it, today, that Mazda? So Taz drops to 4th, probably the penalty there as well. On top of that, I was going to say that's probably why he's in 4th, but he hasn't taken it off yet. So obviously just dropped back to 4th spot. Mikey in 5th. Long way to go, of course. Oh, Taz going wide there through the chicane. See him coming back on now. So let's have a look through the S's. Yeah, ran it almost straight lined it across. Lost control. Did well actually to bring it back onto the circuit. Still ahead of Mikey, but obviously lost a lot of time. Mikey now all over the back of him. So we'll be getting 4th off of Taz. If not now, certainly when he takes that penalty. Oh, Mikey taking a really tight line, and the bollards as well at the same time, but it's not going to get round Taz yet. Might get him down here maybe. Yeah, he's gone past him now, so up to 4th goes Mikey, up on the inside as well for this next left-hander. So gets that done. Oof, that was not much room there, was there? So these boys were a little bit, shall we say, energised last round, weren't they? There was a few, well, I think, debatable moves. Let's just hope they've calmed down a little bit here as we see Nigel under attack from Declan. He's got through up to 7th, but Declan is pushing behind him now. Robbie in 9th. Hoppers 10th. He's got a second penalty now as Hoppers. So he's racking up these penalties, isn't he? Wacky, terrible race so far. Be glad it's an hour-long race, but of course wasn't the start he wanted. And they're in 11th spot in that Corvette. Seems like the steering's okay though, so maybe he sneezed or something and he pushed him left right at that point, because that steering looks okay now as he attacks Hoppers into the bus stop I can't say that, can I? Bus stop chicane. I might just call it the chicane. Oh, an Angry Man, what's he doing? Angry Man is, well, backing off and, well, he's gone. I think he's gone. I think we've lost Angry Man. And that's no surprise around here. Tends to take his victims on the old connection around this track. We had a couple in, including myself, when we did this. My connection went as well as we watched Banksy, our leader, coming up now to the S's. Viking Daddy half a second penalty in 2nd spot, so Banksy could get away here nicely once Viking takes that half a second as well. James in 3rd still, Mikey 4th. Then this battle there for 5th, 6th, 7th. Declan, Nigel, Taz, and Robbie's not far behind there in that pink machine as well. So 4 of them fighting for 5th spot here. So you see Taz with half a second. Oh, he did get through. Nigel could move up the inside of Declan, so Nigel up to 5th spot. Robbie's just sitting behind him, waiting for his opportunity. But it's Nigel 5th, Declan 6th, Taz 7th. Oh, nearly loses the back end, does Taz. Nearly took Robbie out at the same time. In this sort of lipstick pink car. Oh, don't run it too wide out there. You don't want to be going out there either. Not only will you get a penalty, but you'll certainly lose positions. Going right out there, but held it well. Declan still all over the back of Nigel. And just ahead of them is his teammate, Mikey. Mikey's just come back into the clutches of these two. So did he have a moment somewhere? The 2 NSXs though in the top 6 at the moment. Wacky 9th. Starting to get a little bit of momentum now, getting onto the back of this group ahead. Won't be long. He's got him in his sights now. Hoppers 10th after his second off. Max 11th. We haven't seen a lot of him. Big Mac with a second, and well, he might get added to that here. That was 2. Oh no, well, he did actually get added to it, but actually took it off just like that. So that was weird. But anyway, got rid of it all. But I think it went up to about a 2-second penalty there, but it literally came on and went off. So the quickest 2-second penalty I've ever seen taken. But he's there in 12th. Aspect in 13th. Can't quite get out. The trouble is round here, once you get left behind, as we'll see, a bad man right at the back. Once you get left behind, you've got nothing to work off ahead of you. it's a very lonely race, and well, quite a slow race as well. You've got nothing, no slip or anything that you can play with. At the moment, though, Banksy doesn't need none of that, because he's leading it ahead of Viking Daddy. So I'll try and get it, as I mentioned, through the two-parter, so I'll try and get the first part as close to the 30-minute mark as I possibly can, and then hopefully it'll be a slick start in the second part. Viking Daddy, though, keeping Banksy honest at the moment. He knows that he makes a mistake. Banksy, that is. Viking Daddy will be there to pick up the pieces. And of course, James in third, although what he wants them to do is to start battling with each other, just to slow each other up so he can get onto the back of them. But third for him so far, James. Mikey there in fourth. Still, Niggle fifth. Declan's dropped back, isn't he? Off at the back of Niggle. So he must have had something happen. Up to seventh is Wacky. He's got past Robbie, so I wonder if Robbie and Declan had a coming together. It was all very close, wasn't it? Back there when we last visited it, and now between them is Wacky. So I think maybe there was a coming together somewhere. Taz also back there in ninth spot. They've all kind of dropped back a bit. Taz on the medium, so he started on an interesting choice of tyre. Hopper's in 10th, Max in 11th. So they come through the chicane. Big Mac 12 managed to get ahead of Aspect now, who's back in 13th. So he's not having a great race at the moment, is he? Aspect, lots of dents at the front of that Sylvia. So struggling at the moment, I reckon. But he's got the fastest lap, in fairness to him. A 2:30. Well, he's just made a 2:29.912. So he's certainly getting the fastest laps, but unfortunately for him, he's in 13th and he's on them soft tyres. So Banksy now, still holding off, but he's under increasing pressure from Viking Daddy, both of whom are on the hard compound tyres. So it looks like they're going to just try and go as far as they possibly can on these tyres, maybe. Seeing that they're leading. What's James on? He's on hard. So all three of the leaders actually are on hard tyres. So maybe that is the choice. We should see the daylight become evening by the time this race is over. So it's not going to be like this all the way through. That might have a say on the tyres if they haven't changed them already by then. But Viking Daddy right up behind him. Banksy now. But he has got half a second he's got to take off as Viking. So just as he makes progress, he's going to drop back a little bit just there. Don't lose a great deal, but it's enough to get Banksy that advantage again. Flat through the left-hander, down to the chicane, drop it down, second or third gear, or first I should say, and push it out the other end. Oh, and neck and neck now as James has got up the side of Viking Daddy. Good through the chicane there was James. Viking Daddy just had a squiggly moment, I think. So here we go, neck and neck. James has got there by a bumper in second, but Viking's on the inside. He's going to surely hold it. Switch back from James, maybe. No, he was wise to that, was Viking. Going to have to go around a long way, James, and he's done it so far. Still just about there. No, he's managed it, so got the power down early. Got past Viking Daddy up to second spot then, so Viking down to third. So Tyres look almost brand new on that Ferrari. Oh, now I'm not sure if that's a penalty or not. Don't think it is. You just never know. No, he got away with it. That's fine. Mikey in fourth, being chased down still. Mikey just can't get onto the back of the M3, can he? He's on hards as well, and then Nigel, which is hards too, chasing down Mikey. He's in fifth at the moment, is Nigel. So, quarter of an hour in to this endurance race. So far, pretty good. Not for Wacky though, he had a terrible start to his, just starting to come back on terms with it now, isn't he? But got involved with a little bit of door-to-door, no one's fault, racing incident, but for some reason then the car decided it wanted to have a mind of his own and speared him off to the left, coming through the S's. But he's made up some ground and places, got himself back up the 6th spot, which is good for him. Robbie, closely followed by Declan, 7th and 8th spot. So all right up to 7th spot, Robbie, all on hard tyres. Declan, the first one with a change, he's on the medium. But at the moment, you've got to say hard to the best, although Declan having a look up the inside of Robbie there, didn't get that done, but certainly looks like he's got a little bit more pace in those mediums that you'd expect, I suppose. Now has a good look up the inside. Oh, shut the door though, did Robbie. He's going to get that done soon, isn't he? Declan, you get that feeling anyway. 8th at the moment though for him. Taz in 9th, 1 second penalty for Taz. Another on the mediums. And, well, that's not the line across the grass there. Now, how far? He's got a lovely gap behind him, so he's not going to be under any pressure there from Hoppers in 10th. Max in 11th. This is all a bit close here, isn't it? So Max still chasing down Hoppers, 10th and 11th spot. So what can Max do? Can he get Hoppers down here at the chicane? Looks like he's got himself in a good position to dive down the inside. Gonna have a look now. Hoppers gives him plenty of room. Bravest on the brakes. Who is it? Well, there's a few stabs at him, and just sort of stopped him, Max, and Aspect said, thanks very much, I'll have a piece of that. So let's have a look at that. That was Max just giving it too much brake, so we're on board with Aspect now. Max is on the inside, and then suddenly just kind of stops, and there's a big gap there. Thanks, says Aspect, I'll have it. Up to 10th he goes. Did well to actually not hit anybody there as they went through, so well done to him. But Max just lost that spot. Well, he did get the spot done on Hoppers, but he lost a spot. They both lost a spot to Aspect, so they're back down to 11th and 12th. Hoppers gets that back round the outside of Max's time. And Big Mac back to 13th again. So it's Aspect who's actually on a bit of a mission. Whoa, Big Mac nearly lost it there. On a bit of a mission at the moment is Aspect on the 10th spot, still holding that fastest lap as well. Banksy's still holding off the leader. Well, actually, where's Viking Daddy gone? He's down to 5th. What happened there? Wow, I'm missing some things here, aren't I? Let's have a look. What happened? Well, he had a penalty there, but he's already in 5th. Still in 5th at that point. Ah, there it is. So let's see what happened here. Up for Eau Rouge. Well wide on the AstroTurf, and that's bye-bye baby there. Oh, you don't want to be facing the wrong way as the cars come airing through the Eau Rouge there. It stays well out of the way though, but that's where he dropped it. That's where he's lost all those spots. Bit of damage to the rear as well. So let's get back to where we were. Viking Daddy in 5th spot. Half a second penalty as well, which I thought was a bit harsh really. Got that for going up too wide through Eau Rouge, but really it was his own doing, so it wasn't like he took anybody out, was it? Wacky though behind him in 6th spot. Could get him here, Wacky, as Viking's got to take that penalty off. We know it's not gonna, it doesn't really take that much off half a second, but it certainly slows your momentum and again stays out of the way, I think. Allows Wacky to go through. Yeah, good racing there. That's better from Viking Daddy. He must have got the memo this week after last week, and look at this from Declan and Robbie. what a battle we got here in store. Coming up to the chicane now. Declan having a... Will he have a look at Robbie? Oh, Robbie runs it wide. In fact, they both do. They take the long route through. So, as they were... Oh, and Robbie... Declan, sorry, I should say, goes out wide, loses a bit of traction, spins him round. As he comes up to the chicane, they both go wide. Declan follows Robbie's line in there. Wide they go. And they've got to try and get it straightened back up. Gives it a bit too much. Does Declan, gets out there and, yeah, enough said, I think. No pressure from behind, although he can't get it straightened up. As we see Taz just coming round the final corner, but Declan will remain in 8th. Taz 9th, Aspect 10th still. Max in 11th, Hoppers 12th. Big Mac 13th, so it's all stable back there. It's been pretty stable up here as well, hasn't it? In the lead. 20 minutes in now, and Banksy, who's led it from the beginning, hasn't he? Right from the start. Looks like he's pretty comfortable. Tyres at the front at least are still got some life on them. About 50% gone there, maybe just over. So at the moment, pretty good there. Whilst James is like, well, both teammates actually, isn't it? So James used slightly more tyre, but both Mazdas 1st and 2nd at the moment. Mikey up to 3rd spot. Of course, they all moved up a position, didn't they? Courtesy of Viking Daddy's dig off. Mikey just, oh, be careful. Mikey, I was going to say, just comfortable there, along with Nigel. They're just holding their time, just waiting for their moment to, once they get into the pits, to see what they can do. Maybe get a bit of extra boost when they get onto them soft tyres, if indeed that's what they're going to do. Nigel there in 4th. And then Wacky 5th spot. Viking in the background there in 6th. So surprisingly, I think there's only been one car come in. I think that was Viking. I think that was the Kebab Man, wasn't it, who came in? I think he's the only one that's actually been in and changed tyres. There's no time limit. You can change whenever you like in this race, so it hasn't got to be within any time period. Oh, was that Viking Daddy going in? No, it was just a moment. It looked like he was heading towards them pits, but it wasn't. Robbie there, 7th spot. Pressure from Declan's gone. He must have had a moment somewhere, did Declan, because dropped all the way back off the back of Robbie now. They were having a little battle, weren't they? Lap or two ago. 8th, bit on his own now. Taz 9th. And now actually Aspect is catching the back of Taz, and I fancy he might get Taz on this lap. Come down the hill into the dip before they go up through Eau Rouge. Nicely through there. So not many strategies happening at the moment, is there? I think it's just go with what you got for as long as you can, and then when you have to change, then change. I think that's a strategy being played in this race. And Kebab Man had another strategy clearly, but it's not working at the moment, is it? There's Aspect now has a look. Taz all over the shop on the grass. Yeah, I think he again just clearly not got the pace compared with Aspect. Maybe struggling on those tyres a little bit now. The feel of the car, he's got not a lot of fuel either, unless he's got to start fuel saving, of course, that could be why. So he's clearly got to come in this time, as we see a change of the lead, and James has taken his teammate. Where did that happen? Did we see it? Well, we didn't see it, but I'm going to have a look to see if I can find it. Well, it's some way back. It's got to be there, isn't it? Oh, it's some way back, isn't it? Oh, well, anyway, we get the gist. He obviously done it through the top. So let's click that forward a little bit and get back to where we were. So James is then leading, Banksy second. Whoa. That was almost the end of his second there. As we into the 25 minutes, so into the last 5 minutes of this first part. Mikey now is caught up with the Mazdas. So are the Mazdas now struggling on those tyres? Let's have a look how bad they are. Yeah, the fronts are beginning to become a bit of an issue for them. Have we seen this previously, haven't we? Mikey, obviously the front wheel driver, those Mazdas. It's all the power on those front wheels. Wears them quickly. Mikey now. He'll know about that, of course, from previous as well. And his tyres are not looking too shabby. Fuel's okay as well. So maybe he's been playing a strategy game with the fuel and the tyres. Just not pushing so hard to start with, maybe. Just saving them all. Knowing what's going to happen. And then he can fly and go for it in the second part. Because he's knocking in fastest sectors as well now. All over the back of Banksy. So Banksy's going to lose his second spot. He's going to lose it down here at the double right-hander. Or maybe not. He does try the inside. Does Mikey? Does he get it done? Banksy will cover the inside for the next left-hander. No, but it's going to happen. Niggle watching there in fourth. Banksy just moves the car over a little bit to the left just to stop Mikey going up the inside, and here we come. The night's drawing in now, lights are on. Didn't that quickly turn from from daytime to evening? As Mikey now dives up the inside. Oh, did he get that done? Well, it's clean racing, certainly no touching. That's good racing between these two. Round the outside goes Mikey, so that was a great move because what he done himself, got himself on the inside, set himself up so on the next left he's on the outside, which then fed him out to the next left. That was a great move. Niggle with a little moment there, I just see in the background. So into these last 3 minutes of the first half. Lights ablaze on that Genesis. Wacky in fifth. Still in fifth, but not far behind Niggle. So he's still got a podium in. He can still get a podium. Look, they're all there in shot, so he can see them all. So it's not over for Wacky, considering the start he had. But we should start to see some people coming in. Certainly, if not for tyres, but for fuel, as we see Viking Dandy coming through. The final chicane, 6th spot. Robbie 7th, Declan 8th. So as we're approaching the halfway mark on this race, let's go back to our leader. James. We've seen this before from James. He really goes, doesn't he? Really goes, but then he just ends up with no tyre at all. But maybe his plan is to try and get a bigger gap before he comes in for his stop, so that when he comes out, in theory, he should still have that gap, assuming everyone else comes in. But he's trying to pull away, but he's not going to have a lot more life in those tyres, is he? There's Mikey up to second now. We see him take Banksy, didn't we? So, but now Banksy's struggling because he's under pressure from Niggle. So the other Mazda now, as we know, is struggling with the tyres. So Niggle now is going to be looking for 3rd spot. Still behind him at this point, no. Does he get it done here? No, Banksy doing all he can to keep him behind. Doing well with what's left of his tyres at the moment. Trying to hold off that big Genesis. And Wacky's, of course, going to be catching them up because they're battling out. And there is Wacky coming round the right-hander now. So let's go back to our leader as we see him coming up over the start and finish. And then what I'll do is I'll stop this first part as he comes across that start and finish, and I will catch up with you for part 2. Thanks for watching this bit. Have a break, get a drink, whatever you want, and I'll see you shortly.